Hey, and welcome to a short little comment on the Bernie Sanders on Flagrant episode, which was an absolutely just a really good podcast. And Andrew and the gang is getting very, very, very good at it. Again, Pete Buttigieg was not my cup of tea. He didn't become my cup of tea, but he became a human being on the podcast. Bernie Sanders kind of lost interest in him after he capitulated so openly to Hillary Clinton and just didn't actually think he was a political force anymore. But he was on the podcast, and it was a really good podcast, a podcast that had some revealing things in it, such as his wife was against Bernie Sanders endorsing Hillary Clinton. But other than that, it was funny as hell. There was in the beginning, they were talking about baseball and Bernie Sanders kind of draw the parallel on how baseball was used to learn math and statistics and arithmetics or whatever, and how they back then knew all kinds of stuff, or his friends could memorize all kinds of stuff. And Andrew Schultz says, "Say, well, today we call that autism," and Bernie Sanders cracks up. It's a really good podcast. However, there's this thing that I think is really strange. Like, I don't get this. This is so not uh, Bernie Sanders uh, that it caught my eyes, and I thought we should watch this together.
Corruption that many Americans see within both Democrats and Republicans is this idea of the stock trading. And they see that as kind of like another way to, take some money off the top. And people have talked about Nancy Pelosi and her husband, for example, but I think it happens across the aisle. What is your take on that issue? And is there a way to curb that? Or
I don't own any stocks, so it's not my thing to follow it. I'm not sure that has, if the implication is that these members of Congress are aware what's going to happen tomorrow and are putting their stock, I'm not sure how, I'm sure it happens. I don't know how prevalent it is. But
is he out of touch? Like, I mean, I know he's not on Twitter. Clearly, it's not. That's not Bernie Sanders, but really, his staff.
What was interesting, by the way, on that subject, as you may recall, just was it a month ago, where Donald Trump said something like, "What? Today is a great day to invest," and lo and behold, he changes his views on the tariffs.
Yeah.
Do I think insiders knew something about that? Probably.
That felt awesome when he did that.
Yeah,
I felt like a politician. Like I was privy to the information that I feel like Pelosi and Schumer are privy to, and the Republicans do it as well. I don't want to make it a partisan issue, but like it felt, I think a lot of Americans, instead of rejecting this insider trading idea, finally felt like the train wasn't running away without them.
We were on the inside.
Exactly. Where it would be great if nobody did it. Like that's the ideal situation. But I think a lot of times what we've seen is like this great frustration with government, and then whomever pulls the veil off, there is an appreciation of it rather than a rejection that there is corruption in general.
John. All right, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I don't understand this. Like, I don't understand it. Like, Andrew calls it out, right? Like, nobody's got mad at Trump really doing that, right? Because the people who had the money, they traded on that shit. Right? So, and it was kind of like, well, fuck, everybody's in, right? But then you have the billionaires. They, of course, front ran that shit, right? So they went in, they did they bought in, and then Trump goes out and he does the tariff things, and then the retail investor goes in and does that. But the fact that Bernie Sanders seems so like, maybe if you think they really do that, like, I mean, that is strange to me. That was, if you want to talk about missteps or weirdness or whatever of that entire podcast, that was it. Everything else was informative. It was good. The progressive left has real. I don't know what you call them, but there's been a lot of hate on Bernie Sanders on Twitter. I think the progressive left is going to miss him. He points out a bunch of things. I will make some other reactions, but it's really hard to do because what am I going to do? See, he's pointing out this. What am I going to sit there and tell you that? You already know this. What you probably didn't know, or what might be strange here, is this. This is strange. He's got to know that there's insider trading. He's got to know that there's accounts that found. No, he doesn't have to know, but his staff has to know, and then the ENC has to know. Like, that didn't make sense to me. Other than that, it was a really good podcast, and you should, of course, watch the whole entire thing. I will probably make more reaction videos to it because it was just so good, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, take care of yourself, take care of each other.